What it do, cyber world. It's your girl, the one, the only, Ash Brown, and this is the Ash Show. Over 1,900 episodes, 500,000 streams worldwide and counting. All that is on account of you guys. So thank you so much for all of the love and support. The shares and the cares make a huge, huge difference. Today, we have a very esteemed guest. She is one of the highly sought after and skilled of her entire industry. All right, she's an autiste at best, but she's definitely my favorite person, like, ever. We are talking about the wonderful and ultra talented Mia Massey. Hey, Mia.
Hi, Ash. How's it going?
It's going pretty awesome. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm enjoying a lazy, rainy evening.
Hey, it's like that sometimes. It is like
got
that.
some soup. Got my dogs in my lap currently, so life is good.
Good times, good times. All right, so Mia, as I was giving a little bit of intel to why you're one of my favorite people, because I have gone for services from you several times. I've gotten services several times, different cities. Just like I'm not stalking you. I promise. I'm not stalking. But I just
it's okay. You can stalk me. I'd be totally fine with that.
But I wanted to go and highlight you because every time I go, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would love to hear more of your story because, when you're going to get a service, it's really not time to share like life story stuff and inspirational things when there's like a whole line of people in to come see you. So I'm super excited to get this opportunity to chat with you. And
I am too.
Insight. So, all right. So first thing is first, what was the thing that really drew you into the arts, into piercing and everything else?
Well, when it came to piercing, I have to be totally honest with you. I fell more in love with like the community of people who were getting modified. I had always been interested and inspired and always a little intimidated by people who had really awesome tattoos and people in tattoo shops in general. And I think I was in my mid-20s when I started looking into it. And I walked into the shop. It was the very first one I ended up working in. I walked in and I got a piercing. And I just had a really good time like talking with people. And I was in a break. I'd gone back to school and I had taken a break for the summer. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to see if they're hiring. I was thinking at the time maybe working in the front desk. And then the piercer who pierced me had mentioned, if I'd ever thought about piercing. And I said, well, no, not really. But, I could maybe try. I can give my hand at it and see, if I'm any good at it. So several months later, I started my apprenticeship. And slowly, my eyes started to open up to piercing more than just what we see, like, from people who are, like, more than people just looking into the industry. Like, when you're actually in the industry, you're seeing it for what it is. And it didn't really take until probably it took a couple of years for me to just absolutely, it become, like, my identity. So it was kind of a work in progress for me, I'll be honest. So when that click happened, it just became something I wanted to know as much as I possibly could.
Now,
and so, and also initially, I was thinking, okay, cool, I'll become a piercer, and tattoo artists are going to hate it when I say this, but that was the plan. I was going to pierce just to get myself in the door and then become a tattooer. I started that process of tattooing and very quickly learned people in the industry are two people. You really can't be both. You can't be a good tattooer and a good piercer. I mean, you can, but for me, for you to be really good at one thing or really good at something, it has to be your one thing. And it was made very evident to me that tattooing wasn't it, because the first time I ever pierced somebody, I will be honest, I totally messed up. And I was shaking in my boots. Like, my hands were shaking. I messed up. She gave me a hug. She told me not to let it shake my confidence, which was a blessing. I mean, I'm very lucky that that's my story. And then I remember feeling like I couldn't wait to do it again and nail it.
Gotcha.
Never felt that way with tattooing. So that to me, I was like, if I try and become a tattooer, I'm just disrespecting that part of the industry. So piercing it was, and the longer I've been in it, the more I love it, and I love the mechanics of it. I love how there's no interpretation. It is black and white. Like, it is, you're either doing it right or you're doing it wrong. Because when you're working with the human body, you have to do it a certain way for it to be correct. Right. And then the creative part comes with all the jewelry, and it's just fun.
Yeah, I love that. Now, you as a female in the industry and starting your apprenticeship and kind of going through those different avenues and soaking up as much as you could, did you feel as though the industry was open to women?
It's definitely more now, I would say. Yeah. When I first started, I didn't see the importance of piercing. I could see it throughout history and how piercings and jewelry have been used to represent certain milestones in life or in families or status, kind of. And, in the beginning, it was very simple, the idea of piercings. And then, the longer I've been in it, the more I've come to realize that the people who, obviously the people who come before you are kind of help paving the way. And then you look at the piercings that we're used to seeing from like the 90s. Everything was kind of big and bulky, and it was kind of a male-dominated field. So there was one female piercer that really kind of paved the way. And I remember thinking, and when I first started learning about her name is Elaine Angel. When I first started learning about her, I remember thinking, I couldn't believe how important and how established and how renowned she was as a piercer. And then that really was like, I slapped my own face when I had that thought, because I was like, well, why not? I mean, why does piercing have to just be this small thing? It doesn't. I mean, piercing is a huge thing, and it's a huge industry too. Yeah. And it can be a very lucrative one if you make it that way. If you love it, it will be that for you. But Elaine Angel, she's done a lot for the piercing community for sure. As a piercer herself, as a person that you can reach out to, as a piercer, you can reach out to her for guidance. As a person getting pierced, you can reach out to her. She makes herself available. Oh, wow. She's written several books for people who are getting pierced. It's called the Piercing Bible. And I love that because it kind of set like a precedent to piercing safety that a lot of people don't think about when they go to get pierced. So I really love the education that she's put out there, and that the Association of Professional Piercers, their whole mission is to provide safe piercing. And they really, really are very strict about it, which is a great thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree about that. Definitely a big thing. So what is your anniversary now, I should say, Mia? Like, how long have you been in the industry piercing people and decorating bodies?
Let's see, I think I was just thinking about it a few minutes before we started, like when I really started. And I think it's coming up March 2015. Or 2015 is when I started, so March is going to be the anniversary.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
I don't know. Yeah, so that'll be, 9 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Lucky number 10.
And I was always one of those before this. I would have a job for a couple of years, and then I'd move on. And then I wanted to find something else. And then I would try something else, or I'd go back to school or do something. And when I started this, there's something about it just kept me in it. And, before I realized it, I've been doing it for, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. It really goes by quickly.
Yeah. So what can guests look forward to, I guess, next for, once in a blue moon? What's going on with you guys?
Well, we do have specials going on every now and then, every once in a blue moon. Anytime there is a literal blue moon, we will throw a little party. Maybe have some specials on piercings, or we'll have specials on the jewelry offers that the upgrade offers that we sell. And sometimes we'll have tattoo flash, kind of honoring the blue moon. So, and anytime we do those things, we'll post about them on our shop, which is Once in a Blue Moon Tattoo. That's the name on Instagram. That is our website name and also our email name. It's onceinablue-moon-tattoo@gmail.com. So we're, we like to be accessible.
Yes, definitely.
And of course, every Halloween we put on an event, and that's usually our biggest one that we usually prepare for all year.
I'd imagine. Big things coming. So, last but certainly not least, Mia, what advice would you offer to the next generation of professional piercers?
If you want to become a piercer, you have to start. My best advice is make your presence known in the shop that you want to be in. A lot of times shops aren't going to be hiring. Okay, you know what? That's fine. A lot of shops don't really want to take on apprentices, and that's just kind of how it is. Yeah. I was lucky when I got mine. But start being a patron there. Start getting tattooed, start getting pierced, and the more you're there and, the more you start building a relationship with the people who own the place, or the people that are servicing you, like tattoos or piercings, the more inclined they are to think about you when that time comes. And I mean, it's like a win-win, in my opinion. You're getting yourself, decorated and tattooed, and that's always awesome. But you're also forming relationships, and a lot of those end up becoming really close friendships.
This is true. Very true. Mia Massey. Thank you so much for coming through, Mia. I got to come visit you again. So for people that need to book you, people need to book you and they want to come in and, get whatever specialty treatment that they want to treat themselves for the day, what's the best way for them to book?
You could call our shop, Once in a Blue Moon Tattoo. You can find us on Google. If you go through the website, you'll have a link to either submit a request through the website, or you can text me directly, and my phone number to text is on there. Email, of course, is on there as well. And then Instagram, my handle is Mia_the-piercer. You can hit me up there as well. And anytime I get a message that comes through the website, it goes directly to me, so I will definitely see it. But texting me is always faster.
All right. Sounds like the plan. Mia, thank you so much. I know there's going to be all kinds of new things coming up. We definitely got to snatch you back again to, get some little gemstones from you. Always appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And keep doing the
I was a little nervous
at first. Absolutely. I love that. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.